Hey fam, we're back.
Hey, welcome back. Oh, the wiggle thing
The
again.
wiggle- I know.
Hey.
I just do that
I
a
know,
lot. I don't
me
know
too.
why.
Yeah, me too. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Welcome back to episode 9.
Yes. Episode 9,
Super
guys.
exciting. Yes, Everyday People, episode 9. Thank you for joining us. We just wanted to continue today on the topic of facing everyday challenges, just like last week.
Yeah.
And just from a different angle. Well, is it a different angle? But
I would say, yeah, I guess.
well, so from your struggle,
Yeah.
the challenge you had on exactly the same day, right?
That's crazy, right?
It was crazy as we were talking about it. We're like, oh my goodness, which is why we chose to actually have it as a topic.
Yeah.
Because we realized that
It was pretty much the same thing. Like, same day, we sort of experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because when you shared it with me, I was like, that's exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, I didn't. Usually I do kind of confide in Tans and I'll share something. But this time today, I just felt like the morning went great. Like, I mean, did it go great? Yeah, it did. It's pretty good. Like, I was pretty.
Well, it did. It started out
strong
right,
with
didn't you?
like,
Like
yeah.
you said, it started out great.
Yeah, it started out great. I literally got up, did my morning routine, got my dogs ready. That's probably where I went wrong. Devotion time for me
Now that's a good point out.
is crucial. Now, if you know, if you're a believer, if you're on a faith journey like Tans and I, devotional time is so important for us.
Yeah.
It resets our heart for the day.
100%, yeah.
And it just realigns us with, the
Events.
whys.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just like how we show up for not ourselves, but others.
Yeah.
So did I have devotional time? I didn't this morning, and I could definitely tell because this morning was like, and it was so fast. Like I was like, yeah, things are great. And then when things started going, phew, I was like, whoa, okay. And I think for me, I'm a rusher. Like I do, and me not think sometimes, I don't think about things. Yeah. So I think that's something that I've been learning in these past years is like Tan said, like slowing down will always be a struggle.
Yeah.
For us because we're so caught up with life and routine and
Getting
the demands from the expectations from others, from ourselves. And it just gets crazy. So this morning, because it is my day off, I was like, yeah, you know what? Like it may be a day off from being out of the salon, but I also got lots of things happening outside of that I need to tick off. So I kind of got through that. Oh, a bit of a burp.
Sorry.
Everyday
People.
Yeah, I had my list and
I
was like, okay, I need to start writing down what's priority, what I need to get done today because it's a day off. I need to be productive, blah, 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 blah. Hubby asked the question and he got shot. Shots fired. And it's like, oh, come at me. I've got a list and I've got so much to process. And how I operate is I need time. Like I need to slow down so then I know that the decisions that I'm making are the right ones in terms of like, I mean, you live and you learn. I get that. But sometimes you're like, probably should have slowed down and thought that through a little bit more. You know what I mean?
I do. Funny you just triggered a thought for me.
Yeah.
When you were like, oh, I need to slow down to make sure I make the decision right. Like we know that.
But we don't.
But we actually, how often would you say,
it's me? I'm the problem, it's me. Every time, guys.
And that's something I said too, like it was on me.
And when we're under pressure, right? We go, it's you.
Yeah.
You're the problem, it's you. Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
How we manage that is our responsibility.
Yeah.
So, for me, like that was the struggle. The struggle was like the rush and like anxiety and like just going, oh my goodness. And then that resulted into anger and then getting told that I got anger issues. Surprise. Yeah, so
That would have been awesome.
yeah, and then I had to, you know, I didn't like I did, I took offense, but at the same time I was like, wait a minute. Why did I get angry? I had to actually pause with my own thoughts and be like, let's unpack what just happened. Like me yelling or me saying things that I didn't. Did I mean it? Probably did. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I just had to slow down. I had to pause and I had to write down. And this is one of the biggest things that you've taught me is to brain dump because I do. It's just so much better to pause, slow down, write down the things. And another important thing that I've learned along the way is if you've got 100 things on your list, honey, be realistic.
Yeah,
Like you are only human and you could possibly, your brain wants to thinks, right?
Yeah.
Think we can do
Yeah.
100 things in a day. But
Yeah.
reality is we can't.
No.
We can't do that.
Yeah.
We've
And it's
gotta-
supposed to be what, your day off?
Yeah. And so I had to really ask myself, okay, is this really a day off? Like, do I have moments in my day where I get to relax, where I get to pause? And I did, which was great. And I actually tried to mix my day up in terms of being productive, ticking off the things that needed to be done, like admin, a few phone calls,
Good.
some cleaning, spending time with my dogs. I know
Oh, yeah, baby.
that's in there. And then actually having quality time with my family. We did a breakfast brunch today, which was great. And then I got to have a little nap in that.
Nap time.
Yeah.
See, now that's good.
So, and I thought, you know what, that's good. And then there was a moment as well where I was actually able to, and the car is just my place to talk to God. Like,
Yes.
that's me and God time right there because there's no distractions. And every time I jump in that car, it's like my brain just stops. It pauses before the engine starts. It's like a reset. Like I naturally get in the car and I'm like, okay, God, I just need to process that day, or I need to process that moment. And it was like, wow. So then I was able to have conversation with God and then be able to navigate my steps going forward, not in such a rush mindset, but in a, okay, may everything that I do, first of all, heart set right.
Yeah, it's good.
Heart set right, no rush, because I know that no good outcomes come from rushing ever. So slow and intentional is kind of where it's at.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you think? Like, because you said obviously the car is your jam, and it's like you hopped in there, and it is that like your pause button?
Yeah,
It's like literally
really
when you
feel
sit in
like
there,
when
it's
I'm
like,
rushing around, like if I'm at home, there is no way I can pause.
yeah,
But like for some reason, as soon as I jump in the car, and because I do a lot of errands, right? I'm jumping in the car. As soon as I hop in that car, it's like my brain just like pauses.
is it you like take a breath?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then like I sort of sit there and that's like when I can reset because like it's different when like someone's in the car, I really can't because it's like
That's a totally different story though.
But when it's
yeah.
me jumping in and I'm like, look, see you later, alligator, I've got to go do this. I can actually sit in the car and like I'm just frozen like for a second. And I'm able to reset myself and go, okay, what have you done in the day? Like, you've had a rest, you've had a break, things like that. Are you overwhelmed?
Yeah.
Because I find that is, it's just my time where I do find myself where I cry.
Yeah.
Where I scream.
Yeah, nice.
Where I pray.
Nice.
Where I am very vulnerable with the man upstairs.
So that is you walking
That's
through
my
the
outlet.
emotion and the outlet, right?
Yeah.
And actually allowing it, not resisting it. Yeah.
Yeah. So same.
Yeah.
So with Tans, at that point in time, she had her coaches. She had a good friend. My point in time was literally directly to the man upstairs.
Yeah.
And that was enough for me in that moment to reset in that time period. I knew full well that I was going to be meeting up with Tans later. So
yeah.
people going to know the tea, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when we're able to share, struggles. And it's so good that I feel more than okay to be able to be vulnerable, to be able to unpack it, to be able to actually ask myself the question
Right.
of like, why did I feel that way? What do I need? That's a
Yeah.
really important question. What am I missing?
Yeah.
Those are like questions like I feel like we need to ask ourselves every single day, because this brain is constant,
I think
even
like,
when we're asleep.
yo, yeah, 100%. I like something I probably didn't add because I didn't necessarily click to it because it's, I think something that is possibly just a part of it is, you know, when you're like connected to the man upstairs. When I, I think when I had that moment of the trigger and I was like, what's going on? I literally like the other couple of words was, God, what's going on here? Show
Yeah.
me. So it's,
Yeah.
so whilst I might not have mentioned that, literally he is involved in my
Yeah.
conversations
Yeah.
because it was like, because the funny thing is you had said you didn't start your day off right, like, as in with your devotionals,
Yeah.
which you said you like, I had. So I had that, and I even had that, but I acknowledge that for me, mine was me pushing me.
Yeah.
Me.
But I love how
And
it's different.
well, exactly,
Like,
100%.
I feel like
But
devotions are very important in the beginning, for sure. And I think because it starts your day right. Where I had totally missed it and gone straight into to-do list, you know, and that's something that I'm not going to get right all the time.
no, and sometimes you like to navigate, like, you're not going to be able to start your day off right, and you might start full steam ahead and have your devotional later on in the day for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Like everyone, like I think some people like to end the day with God time. Some
Yeah.
people like to start it. Some
That's
people
true.
like it's in the middle. So I, again, probs not get pedantic on that, but
It does help.
yeah, it does help.
Immensely.
Here's the other thing that I just had another click, and it really, what had happened, if you don't mind me sharing, sorry, what had happened to me is, you know, that rush, that pattern. I actually acknowledged that pattern, and I've acknowledged it now more than once. I acknowledged it last month, where I had moments of, actually maybe in the last few weeks, not just last month. Well, last month wasn't far away. Yeah, anyway, it doesn't matter. Where I had that element of being pushed, rushed, and what's just clicked for me is the realization of the, like, there's an element in the world that rushes us.
Oh,
Like the world rushes us. The world is rushing by.
Goes round,
It's
round,
spinning
round,
around. Like we have to hurry,
Yeah.
hurry.
Quick, quick. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and you know, that's probably come from quite a lot of different places, but long and short of it, I was how did I word it before? I was going along with someone else's expectations of me.
Well, yeah.
And I partnered with that without realizing I'd partnered with that, even though that's not what I want to partner with. Like I want to slow down. Like even though we're trying to embody that slowing down, we have to constantly remind ourselves, like I'm daily going, hang on a minute, calm down, which is what I had to do today.
Yeah.
With that today.
Reset. Yeah.
I go, I can't, and I do it more than once. Like if I find myself rushing, I'm like, can you just stop?
And it's a pattern that a familiar pattern that we've known our whole life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it will always keep coming back.
Correct. So, you know, we're trying to break a pattern that this is years in the making. This is not only that was put onto us, but it's years. The world is doing it. The world is a rush here, be there, look like this, do this, da, da, da. Well,
and we tell ourselves we need to take all of that on.
Yeah. And is that what we really want? Do we really want that?
Yeah.
Do we really need this? Like,
yeah.
What are we actually listening to? Where is this crap coming from? Like, so why aren't we investigating into that? Like, once you know, you unpack it and you dig deeper, you're like, oh, hang on, this is not mine.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Pause, cool, move on. Like,
cut that off.
Yeah. Let's start like realizing that, I've just taken on
unnecessary things.
Sometimes we also take on other people's rush, and we then take it
We
on.
pick on that. We pick up that energy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not only we have this unrealistic realization that we should be rushing and we should look like this and we should, how many dreams of the world that you should be rich and you should be this and you should be that. Should you?
Or should you be content?
Or should you just figure out what you want?
Yeah.
And if that's different, that's okay too.
Mm.
Because we're all uniquely made.
Mm.
We're all got our own unique gifts.
Yeah.
What your rich and what my rich could look very different. Someone's rich could be monetary, billionaire, blah, blah, blah.
And I spoke on that on like my stories a few weeks ago, talking about how rich I felt. Like
I remember that.
I just felt
that was so good.
Rich in friendships.
Yeah.
I felt rich in my health. I felt rich in so many ways. And even though and to be honest, living in Australia, that is rich compared to a lot of people in the world that are struggling.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are rich
in
so many ways. So yeah, it's just there's so much to be thankful for in life.
Yeah. And obviously
even with struggles.
Yeah. And we can there's so many things we can intertwine and take from just unpacking this subject alone and just unpacking the things of our day because and the rush and the what we take on from others and the world.
Well, we could even do another episode on this one.
Well, that's right. Exactly, because you can unpack. There's so much in it. I don't know how many things I have gone, is this really what I want? Or where am I getting that from?
Yeah.
Where did I learn that? I don't know. And I've had to just then pause and either let it go or ponder it later because I'm like, I actually don't think I want that.
Pause, reflect.
Yeah. And connect.
Girl, that's the one. Connect, yes.
So yeah, again, the similar like you shared in the last potty was pause. Look, I may not get your wording correct, but pause, connect, and reflect. And
I don't know why what's that game?
Or reflect and correct. Doesn't matter the order. The fact that gets done.
Yeah.
To walk through. Yeah. That's the other thing I think I'd like to point out. It's not to avoid.
Yes.
None of this is to avoid. Don't avoid it. Because if you avoid it, it's going to come back and slap you side of the head harder. So walk through it. Which is the reason why you're connecting, which is the reason why you're reflecting, is because you're wanting to walk through it. And when you walk through it, it's not a big deal.
You'll actually go through it and be like, I can't believe that I went through that.
Yeah. And I had the moment of from the emotional part, what, maybe 5 minutes? I don't know how long the drive was. Then I was like, cool, I'm good.
I also want to share, I love this person dearly, but every time I would share something with this certain person, they'd be like, oh no, don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. It's okay.
Oh.
And I had to normalize. It's not okay.
Yeah.
And it's okay to cry. And that's because of the experiences this certain person had, that was a norm for this person to be like, don't cry. It's okay. And that's a lie, guys, because not everything is always going to be okay. This world is broken.
Yeah.
And we are broken too. And when we actually come to terms with the fact that, yes, we are broken, but there is a way to navigate life to heal from brokenness.
Yeah. And it's there's, I know there's definitely an older generation, and even it's still coming through this, well, slightly in this generation, where you can't show that emotion, where we shouldn't cry. We shouldn't. For some reason, it's okay to be angry, actually. That's the funny part. Don't cry, but it's okay to lose your shit. I just tell it like it is. Because that seems to be acceptable. Yet crying, God forbid. Do you want to know why? Because it's uncomfortable. We don't know how to respond to the person. We don't know, what do we do? How do we give it? How about just listen to them? How about just be there in quiet, in silence? Is it uncomfortable? Yep. but it's uncomfortable for them too.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, the language could be something like it's okay, but it's okay, let it out.
Yeah.
Not it's okay, don't cry.
Yeah.
It's okay, let it out. I'm here. I'll just sit with you. Let's just be for a moment.
Yeah.
Let
Definitely.
it do what you need to do. I'm here. You don't need to, you know.
And let's be real, like once we have a cry, you know how amazing that feels?
Yeah.
It feels like everything is just 10 times lighter.
Yeah, because you've released it. It's a
It's
releasing.
like all that internal struggle that you're going through is sort of coming out.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Sorry. My face was because I was gonna make a joke and it's probably not appropriate because this is yeah, but look, hey, anyway.
Oh my goodness.
Releasing is important.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Okay, now I get where she was
Yeah.
going with that. Better out than in.
Yeah. So, in all areas.
Ooh.
Amen. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think probably the realization, like from that anger, how we normalize the trigger and the response, like we could have taken that as normal conversation, but because we are used to unpacking and used to knowing, like, hang on a minute, I don't usually
and resetting and pausing. Right?
I don't usually respond like that.
Mm.
What's going on? Whereas there, in the past, that was always my response. So it didn't seem foreign, yet it is foreign. If there is a reaction in like that in a conversation where someone's kind of projecting at you or like back up or what am I trying to say? Like the aggression, like and projecting.
Yeah.
There's something going on within them.
And that's something to not take personal because that's their struggle.
Yeah. That's and they probably are not even aware of it. Majority of them aren't.
That is true.
Yeah. It's just
and
that
the only person you can be aware of is yourself.
Yeah. The reason we're able to have these reflections and unpacking is again because we're coached. Yeah. 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 Well, and that's like, and because you go through these, but you've done it, you've dealt it, you've walked the journey, you continue to walk the journey because we're always growing, we're always up leveling, we're always wanting to get better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we could keep going. We could, but we better wrap it up. We hope you've had gotten some more good insight and help just insight.
Yeah.
That maybe this has triggered you.
That could help someone. Like,
well, that's exactly right. Our conversation could help you. Maybe you're wrestling with it. Maybe you're triggered by it. Please note that actually, if you are triggered by it, that is a good sign because this is giving you an opportunity to go within and look at yourself.
Love that.
Look at yourself, excuse me, and ask, okay, well, what's going on? Why am I triggered by that?
Yeah.
Again, the reflection. And if you don't know how to unpack that, please feel free to reach out to us. Yeah. Look forward to our next podcast, guys. You have an awesome week and
thanks for chatting with us all things about how we deal with struggle.
Yeah. And how could help you. Follow us on all the regular channels,
Yeah. All the things.
All the things.
Just journey with us.
Yeah.
Much love, guys.
Bye.
Bye.